Hello everyone, I'm James Mears. I'm a nursing professor at Thames campus, St. Clair College, and I'm going to be coming to Lambton College accompanied by Jen Chattel, and we're two nursing professors who have been using the application Explain Everything in and outside of the classroom. This video is created as a pre-class video in keeping with flipping the classroom methodology. So in this video we're going to highlight some of the key icons or functions of the application and talk about our learning objectives for our professional development session and help you determine whether or not the session is beneficial for you to take or whether or not you can skip it. So without any further ado, let's dive in, shall we? Well, we've got a lot planned for our 2-hour session. Overall, this is our agenda. We're going to talk about the terms flipping and blending a classroom and the methodology behind that. We'll explore the pros and the cons to this application, just highlighting how we have used it and why we've chosen to continue using it. We're going to outline some functions and features so that if you decide to pick this up, you're already familiar with it and can see the benefits of it. And then we're going to get you up and moving and have you do some hands-on activities with a photo scavenger hunt and also a debate and an activity called Desert Island. We'll wrap up with some questions and provide you with some resources that might be helpful, along with some knowledge that we've gained from our learning curve of implementing this into the classroom. Because there's so much information out there already, and maybe you've already explored or trialed certain aspects of technology in the classroom, we're going to start the activity off with an Ask It basket. This is an activity where you'll be able to come into the classroom with an anonymous question, drop it in the basket, and then we'll go through these questions either during the class or after the class, depending on our time. We realize that there's a lot of information out there, and our 2 hours will maybe touch on the tip of the iceberg of how this application can actually be used. But if you do have specific questions, feel free to write them out before the class and drop them in the basket, and we'll look at those early on in our session. I wanted to share our learning objectives with you prior to you attending our workshop. We have two. After our 2-hour session, we're hoping that you demonstrate a knowledge and understanding in how to implement or utilize Explain Everything in and outside of the classroom. We're also hoping that you'll critically evaluate and reflect on whether or not it's appropriate for you to use this in all of your classes or part of your classes. And we'll probably talk on how it applies to your own specific discipline. We're going to encourage general discussion throughout our 2-hour session and also after each activity. So in previous workshops there have been a lot of conversation. We'll try to keep on track, but we'll definitely be flexible enough to accommodate your specific needs. The flipped classroom is a term that's utilized quite frequently in everyday language when it comes to our jobs. And so we'll talk a little bit about this, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I'm going to move forward. In the spirit of flipping the classroom, we have some homework or pre-assigned work that we'd like you to complete prior to coming to our workshop. First part of this homework is that we'd like you to sit back, relax, and watch 2 easy videos. The first one talks about the methodology behind flipping the classroom, and the second one discusses Khan Academy, which many of you are probably already familiar with. It's a long video, but we're hoping you'll only watch the first 5 minutes and 15 seconds of this video. Additionally, you're going to notice another link. For the sake of true transparency, I'm including earlier videos when Jen and I first started learning how to use this application, and these are the actual videos that we used with our students. So if you want to chuckle, feel free to watch those as well, and by all means keep in mind that when we first embraced this, we were rather hesitant to utilize this technology as well, and there was a little bit of a learning curve, and we're going to share our insights with that, but we thought it would be worth a chuckle. You can take a peek at these videos if you'd like to. Okay, this outlines the basic icons and functions that we're going to get into exploring in our workshop. I'm going to drop in an arrow here and hopefully you'll be able to follow along. The first icon is a hand tool that allows you to move objects around the screen, similar to what I'm doing with the arrow. The next one is the Add a Slide icon. This allows you to add slides down here at the bottom of your application. You'll notice it says 2 of 2. So as you click on that, that number will go up, and just like PowerPoint on the left-hand side, you can move those around. You have a writing tool that allows you to write with a pencil, which if you click on, you'll notice that, let me just click on it here, you can draw on your screen. If you click and hold, you can actually change the width of that pen, and also down here you'll notice colors that if you click on those and hold them down, that will change your color from black to purple to yellow, and you can change your pen. If you do happen to use the pen on a picture, please note that if you move that picture around, your pen actually stays on that paper. It's now part of that permanent drawing. And I'm just going to move on down. This next button here allows you to add shapes like stars or arrows, like this black arrow that I've just added in. Touching the A will allow you to add in or type text, and you can change the font and size of that text if you don't like your own penmanship. This button right here, this add feature, allows you to add videos, photos, or anything else from your files in your iPad. Or you can actually take a new picture. You simply click on the add button and select a picture in your photo library, or you can click new picture and you can take a new picture, which I will just drop in right here and show you what I'm looking at. So I'm in the boardroom at the moment, and I've just snapped a picture of the boardroom. Alright, moving back to the hand tool. The next button is a pretty handy button. This is your delete or erase button. If you're to click on that, whatever object that you touch next will shake and wiggle, and a red X will appear. If you touch that red X, whatever it is will disappear. So I'm going to show you just by making that image disappear. The next button is a laser pointer, and what that does is it allows you to move around the screen without an arrow, just like you would with a laser pointer. The next button, I'm going to I will explain that a little bit more in class, but that's more like a right click to your mouse. If you're familiar with formatting, moving things frontwards, backwards, copying, pasting, or locking things to a screen, I'll explain more of that in the class. Another handy button that we found very helpful in the beginning was our undo button. This, what looks to be like a magnifying glass, basically this catches everything on the screen. So right now you'll notice that I can move two objects in two different directions. But if I click on that arrow, when I move now, everything moves together. It's now put it all together, nice and neat. If you touch it again, you can now move things independently. And the last button is your minimizing arm. So if you click on that, your sidebar formatting pane will disappear and minimize. Moving down here, this is your slide sorter. You can go to the next slide, you can go back a slide. These functions right here are just like an old tape recorder. You just click on record, press pause if you want to pause and collect your thoughts, hit rewind, or if you hold the up and down arrows over here, you're going to notice a voice waveform that you can actually pause, scroll back, and select a specific point in your lecture, and you can re-record over that. How I've used that in the past is if I've given information with a date or a time, I could easily go back to that video, and instead of redoing the video, I could just re-record my voice over that small section and republish that video again. These other buttons over here we'll talk about in class, but they allow you to save your work in case you want to walk away and do something else, or export it either to YouTube or your learning management system. So there's a lot of buttons. You're not going to hurt anything. I have found it helpful that I can actually drop in my publisher's PowerPoints or any PowerPoints that I've created on PowerPoint before into my iPad and then open them up in Explain Everything and draw all over them, move them around. You're really probably going to enjoy the versatility of this application. And there's a house over here on the far right that's basically like your file system. If you save a project, you'll give it a name, and then on the main home icon, which I'll show you up on the screen in class, you'll see all the projects that you have currently saved. Let's move forward. So this is our second set of homework. We would like you to imagine that you're going to be trapped on a desert island. So from this point, between now and the class, we'd like you to imagine that you're going to be trapped on a desert island, and if you could only bring one object to that desert island with you, what would that object be? Now, what we want you to do is either snap a photo of that with your iPad, draw it with your pen, or search the web for an image of that item and keep it on your camera roll or in your device somewhere, because we're going to want to, in groups of 3 or 5, put that all into one presentation. We're going to illustrate how students can independently do their homework and then come together as a collective group. That's what you're going to be doing in this session. So, final thoughts. We're looking very forward to coming to Lambton. Jen and I are looking very forward to sharing any of our wisdom, lessons learned along the way. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to post them below this YouTube video, or send them to us in an email, or write them down on a blank piece of paper and drop it into the Ask It basket when you come into our workshop. And without any further ado, let's put our face to the name. Hey everybody, my name is James Mears.
And I'm Jennifer Chattel.
We just want to take a quick moment to drop in a video and show you how to do that, and we're looking forward to seeing you Tuesday.
I think you'll like it. I love it.
We love it.
James.
Jen thanks me, but to be honest, she's using this application a lot more than I am. She's really taken it and ran with it, and her students are truly benefiting from it. Honestly, we both feel that English as a first language or English as a second language, these students really enjoy hearing what we have to say prior to class and also listening to what we've said over and over and over again. This is not meant to replace reading, and that's one thing we heavily stress, and we'll talk about that. This is not meant to replace the classroom lecture interaction, because that's a very important piece of what we do. But in any case, thank you very much for your time. We're looking forward to seeing you Tuesday, December the 17th, either in the morning or afternoon session. Don't forget, you do have homework. We'd like you to take a picture of an item that you would want to bring with you on a desert island. We'd like you to watch the YouTube videos that are either embedded in your email or that we've highlighted for you. And last but not least, I haven't mentioned this. We are going to have an interactive classroom debate on whether this technology should be used. So maybe between now and our class, you want to think about whether or not you're for or against implementing this type of technology in the classroom. And you won't know what side of the debate you're going to be on, so you may want to come up with rationale for both sides. Thanks, and looking forward to meeting you all on Tuesday.